Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the second series of Finding Freedom Within Your Health little mini episodes that I am doing right now. If you guys are enjoying these, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. So happy to be back filming another one of these videos, and today we're going to be talking all about spiritual health and how I have come to find freedom within spiritual health and have come to find and live within a healthy balance. So I'm going to be sharing things that I do and incorporate into my daily routine, and also just my story and experience. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. And of course, if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button. I'm really excited and kind of a little bit nervous to actually film this part of the series because spirituality is, I think, very personal and very individual to every single person. So as always, I want to start this video by sharing that these are my personal experiences, my personal beliefs, my personal views, and it's going to be different for you. I honestly have never thought of spirituality as a part of my health until I lost it and I realized what was missing from my life. And that actually took me a lot of years to reach that point, because a little backstory on me: I am a Christian. I am more specifically a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that is my religion and my background, and it is very near and dear to my heart. But I also respect the fact that so many of you watching this, some of you could be part of the same faith as me and some of you could not. And I want you to know that this video is just for anyone, for everyone and anyone who maybe is feeling like they're lacking in their spiritual health, or they just need to be reminded of ways they can amp it up a little bit in their life, if that makes sense. So like I was saying, I have been a member of this church for my whole life. Faith has been a part of my life. My parents raised me in the church, and I was taught about God and about Jesus Christ. And I always just kind of felt like I had a relationship with God growing up. I learned how to pray from like being a little girl. And so that sort of stuff has just always been a part of my life. And I just always kind of felt like my spirituality was in a really good place. However, not too long ago, yes, a couple years ago, but in this season of life, as I got older, left my teenage years behind, and started to become more of an adult, more having independent views and thoughts and ideas, I came to a place in my life where I made decisions that led me further away from what I'd grown up knowing. I really distanced myself from my religion, and I ultimately distanced myself from God, and I made decisions that were not leading me close towards Him. And so it was that point in my life when I actually ended up hitting rock bottom and recognizing what was missing in my life. And one of the biggest things that was missing was my spirituality. My relationship with God, I had completely cut it off, and I just had completely gone down a different path and really lost myself in that process. And so fast forward a bit, I'm now in a much better place. I feel like I have rekindled my relationship with God. Even though He never went anywhere, I once again approached Him, and I was able to humble myself, recognize that I couldn't do everything alone, and I needed Him in my life. I do want to say too that spiritual health is something that I feel like goes like this. Because seasons of life can cause you to question your faith, can cause you to question God, and things just happen, and life happens. And so it's totally okay, but I'm going to share with you 3 things that have helped me get out of that rut. I was stuck in it for a little while, and it was a lot of combination of things, and I think a lot of it was just time and healing and growth, and all of that stuff contributed to getting back to a healthy place in my spirituality. But a big part of it was action steps. One of the first things that really helped me, that I truly did focus and zone in on, was prayer. And this is what I would encourage anyone to do, whether you believe in God or it's more of the universe, or whatever you pray to, whoever you pray to, whatever that looks like for you. Prayer and having an open communication between you and God or a higher power is so important. And that honestly changed the game so much for me. I feel like often when we fall away from church, religion, God, Christ, any of that, when we fall away from it, the hardest part is talking to God again, or feeling like there's a relationship there. And so for me, prayer was actually the hardest thing to once again begin, but it was the most beneficial to getting back to a better place in my spirituality. And so I also want to encourage you that maybe you're like, okay, but prayer, it's so difficult because like I haven't talked to God in a while. Oh, I feel bad for all I've done, or I just don't feel like I know what to say to him. I don't feel like he's listening. I want to encourage you to honestly just talk. Just talk to him. You can kneel down, you can stand up, you can say it in your heart, you can say it out loud, go into a closet if you need to be completely alone in private. Whatever it is, just go somewhere and talk. I get that there can sometimes feel like this distance between you and God and you just don't even know where to start. So I want to encourage you, like I said, to just speak to him. Speak to him candidly. It doesn't need to be well spoken. He doesn't care. He just wants to hear from you. And honestly, the only way that praying and having a communication between you and God is going to get easier is to just do it. For me, a lot of my most heartfelt prayers are honestly done in the car when I'm driving somewhere, and sometimes something's just picking at my mind, or something's been on my heart and I'm just not feeling great. And I just know I need to talk to God about it. I know I need to pray to him. I know I need to ask for help, or I need to ask for guidance, or whatever it is. Or I just need to be like, are you even there today? Honestly, I just sometimes talk to myself in the car. Well, talk to myself. I am genuinely talking to God, but that's where it happens. And it's different for everyone. And so I just want to encourage you that no matter what it looks like, what it sounds like, or how well you think you did at your prayer, just talk to him. Prayer for me was the number one thing that really helped get me out of a rut, helped me reconnect with God, and really feel like I had God again in my life. My second tip and thing that really helped me, and this more so goes along with finding freedom within spirituality, was for me being totally honest and okay with my honesty. What I mean by that is there can sometimes, I'm not saying this for everyone, but there can sometimes be a toxic culture within church community of perfectionism, of this false idea that we are perfect or we can be perfect, when I'm a firm believer that literally perfection cannot be achieved here on earth. I will strive for it, but I cannot be perfect. Christ is perfect, God is perfect, but I am not. I am imperfect. And a big thing for me was being okay with that. I had grown up being kind of the good girl in church, and suddenly I'd made decisions that probably wouldn't label me as the good girl in church anymore, but I struggled with being okay with that. And so I really, this was so important for me and so critical in accepting who I was and accepting that God still loved me, was being honest and being okay. If you've messed up, if you've made a mistake, if you had a season where you just were I just can't even talk to God, I just don't feel like I can do it, it's okay. I think that you have to just be honest with yourself. Be honest with where you're at in your spiritual journey, and be okay with where you're at now. When I say that, I do not mean use this as an excuse to stay in that season and never do anything to get out of it. But what I mean is, don't beat yourself up about it. Honesty, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's being honest to yourself, being honest to your community, being honest to your family, whatever it looks like, be honest, and then just be okay with it. Be okay with the fact that, you know what, my testimony was, a little weak here for a bit, but I'm good now. Or right now my testimony is weak and I just need to be encouraged and uplifted. It's totally okay, and don't hang on to this false idea of perfectionism, because that's what I was doing, and it was so toxic, and I couldn't feel free within my spirituality because I was like, well, I've messed up, so I've lost my chance. That's not how God sees it. It's not how, I just don't think that's how religion works. It's not okay, you got to do everything perfect, and if you mess up, honestly, we all know church is for sinners, church is for those of us who mess up, and that's why we go, is to hang on to hope, hang on to second chances, and to remember that it's okay and it's not the end of the world. So just be totally okay with it. And I think that a big part for me of finding freedom within it was coming to terms with, this is my journey and it's personal to me, and me and God know about it, and I've talked to God about it, and I've felt his love and his peace and his reminder of hope, and I'm good. And so remember that like your relationship with God, your relationship with Christ, your spiritual journey is so personal. So don't compare yourself to other people, because honestly, most of the time we don't know what the heck is going on in people's lives behind the scenes. You don't know what's happened in their spiritual journey in the past or could happen. So just don't compare yourself, don't judge others, and be totally okay and comfortable with your story. That is everything that I wanted to share in today's video. I really hope that this was helpful. If you enjoyed this, I don't do a ton of faith-based videos, but if you enjoy them, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below. Let's share what has helped you, little things that you do in your daily life to try and stay strong and healthy in your spirituality. Thank you so much for watching this video and for being a part of these mini-series. I hope you're enjoying them so far. And for now, I will just say have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video.